ladies, I'm sorry, my princesses. I do apologize, you guys, that I have not been keeping up with my weekly videos. I do apologize. A lot has been going on. Life has definitely been happening. So I'm going to share a little bit of what's been going on in the last couple of months, what's been transpiring. So just sit back, relax. This may be a little long, not really sure. I'm just gonna go with the flow on this one, okay? So just sit back, relax. You hadn't seen me in a couple of months, so hey, we have a lot of catching up to do. But as you can see from the caption down below, we're gonna be talking about being a Christian slash PK life. And any PKs that know being a PK, it pretty much sucks sometimes until you get older and it's a little better, but the teen PK stage is all I can say. Like, I was like pissed off at God so much as a teenager. It was like, why did you have my parents become preachers? Like, it for let's see, for Christian terminology, it was not all that grand. In my own words, it sucked. And it sucked big time. Like, church people, pretty much the way PKs are sometimes treated, they will make you hate God, hate church, hate reading, hate Christianity, hate everything. Honestly, yeah. Sorry, I'm just lost for words. Just thinking about like old stuff, yeah. But we're gonna jump right into it. Being a PK has its perks, especially if you have a parent that travels, which my dad did travel a lot since I was at the age of 5. He used to travel out of town a lot. So it did have his perks. When I was out of school, I was able to travel and all that other good stuff. And, we were able to go out of town. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to Washington. I've been to Maryland. I've been to Texas. I've been to Georgia, Michigan, Chicago. So I've been quite a few places, actually. Canada, but that was like a vacation though. But a mini vacation, because my dad really does not know what it is to take a vacation. But nonetheless, my dad opened his first church maybe, I think when I was maybe like 7 or 8 or something like that. Yeah, maybe about 7 or 8. Or it might have been like 6. But nonetheless, opened up the church, and anybody that knows anything about pastors, especially if you have a good pastor, they have what they call counseling sessions and meetings, and you have people that come in and talk to you about their problems, and they seek your advice or your wisdom or what they feel God may be telling you for their life. Now, whether they follow that advice or not is between them and God, I guess. And I had to learn that, because that used to really like upset me to the utmost, because it's like, okay, you're taking my parents' time away from me, home, movies, hanging out, while you're doing that with your kids, but they have to come sit and talk to you, and you don't even adhere to the advice that they're giving you. Yeah, it took me years to get over that. The Lord is still working. I have to keep that buried deep within, because people still do it now. So yeah, even though I'm like grown, it's like, okay, my parents are getting older, let's ease up, people. But nonetheless, such is life goes on, and we're gonna keep it pushing. So growing up with church, when I was younger, it wasn't so bad. When I became a teenager and hormones started flying, I wanted to have a boyfriend, I wanted to keep up with the Joneses, the unsaved Joneses. So it was like, okay, I wanted a boyfriend, my parents are busy, my dad always out of town. So it was that void that I had, and not realizing, okay, that void was actually God, and I just needed to get dig deeper, in my word. And maybe that void would have been filled, but I thought I was just gonna fill that with a couple of guys. Thanks. And with those couple of guys that I decided to fill that void with, I remember one incident, and this was the first day in my life that when I tell you I knew my mama had a little teeny tiny bit of hood-ishness in her, like OG, like you mess with my child, I will cut you ishness in her. My youth pastor at the time, it was husband and wife, and I guess I had talked to, and I wasn't like really dating guys outside of church. It was like guys that were coming to church, hey, passing time. Pretty much, she called me a whore. And my mother caught wind of it while we were sitting in church. Like, this was actually after church. And my mother just happened to catch wind of the conversation. And this conversation, actually, from my recollection, was pretty much just like out of nowhere. And she pretty much called me a whore. And that was the moment that I knew that first lady, only lady, depending on what denomination you might be, mother, whoever, did not play by her child. We don't play that. I looked at my mama like, child, honey, boo face. You had that in you? Not miss, oh, we're just going to be prim and proper, and, we're going to carry ourselves with grace and no confrontation. Like, that was her. But it shocked me. I was like, oh, you really do love me at the end of the day. Jesus, tell the Lord, thank you. Won't he do it, honey? Won't he do it? But thereafter, it was, people are very judgmental, especially, it's bad enough people are judgmental of Christians, but it's bad enough when the Christians and the secular, the unbelievers are judgmental of the preacher's kids. I've always been, you a PK, so you bad. I still get that. At almost 30 years old, I still get grown people are like, preacher's kids is bad. What? Are we really? We're all bad? Like, how many of your cousins have actually killed somebody and they're sitting in jail right now? I've never killed anybody. I'm just saying. But nonetheless, we've always been categorized as that, and not understanding that just like your children went through puberty and they went through their teenage years and they was out there popping out 3, 4, 10 children, and they were being promiscuous, and your children were smoking weed and whatever else that they may have been doing, lying, cussing, stealing, whatever it is that your children were doing. We're kids too. We do go through the same thing. I don't know why you feel that you got so much grace on yours and not preacher's kids. But nonetheless, it was a struggle. Like, I hated church. I hated church people. At that time, I was blatantly upfront, honest with people. Like, there was no sugarcoating, no telling you nothing in love. It was, okay, you bold enough to come ask me stupidity and come at me crazy, I'm going to give you crazy right back. And that was my mindset at that time. And it took me years and years and years to get over that. I still got people telling me now, like, wow, you have really grown up. Like, I've had people, it's 2015, I had people that are still like, I am really proud of you. You have came a long way. You've grown up. Yeah, it sucks being a PK. Even now, like, people still hold me to this standard of, oh, you're Bishop so-and-so daughter, so you gotta do X, Y, and Z, and you gotta carry yourself this way, and you gotta carry yourself that way. And people not realizing, just like you have life going on, I have life going on too. And the same thing when I was a teenager. When I got pregnant at 18, oh my dear God. When I tell you, I have not been that ridiculed in my life ever. And that was the worst experience. Like, everybody else kids having children out of wedlock, and I didn't have the luxury to experience the full wedlock experience like everybody else. Like, come on now. Like, I did not, the devil doesn't give life. So obviously me getting pregnant, yes, it may have not been the right time. Yes, did I do it in the wrong order? Yes, I should have got married. I should have did this. I should have got my career up and off the ground before I did all this. Yes, but at the end of the day, the devil does not give life. And I'm not saying that as if it's okay to just keep popping out 4 and 5 and 10 children. Like, come on now. Like, get your life. But nonetheless, it was the worst experience for me. It was so much shame and so much people not realizing, okay, I'm letting down my parents and they are held in this position. And then on top of that, I got people bashing me. People trying to find out, oh, who her baby daddy is and all this other stuff, and just, oh, let me get out here and just tell the world that she pregnant, and oh, I knew this was gonna happen, and da 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 da. So it's hard, and people not realizing the things that you say out of your mouth affect the people around you. It affects you. And I remember one incident, one lady, which at the time I was like, oh, I can confide in her, and we were cool and blah blah blah. I confided in her. Mind you, now, step one, you didn't had 3 kids, if I'm not mistaken. She had 3 kids prior to getting married, and was living with the guy, which in Christianity we call that shacking, and was like out just telling folks like it was nothing. But a couple of years later, her daughter had a child out of wedlock. And I'm like, it sometimes it really does not pay to bash people, because you reap what you sow, and it's always it's not necessarily a good look sometimes. So nonetheless, moving on, that right there in itself set the tone. It took years for me to get past the fact of, okay, you've hurt me, you stabbed me in the back. And I've experienced and seen people hurt my parents and stab them in the back. So it took me a while to get to the point of, okay, do I really want to be a Christian, or we just gonna straddle the fence and call it a day, and hopefully I get into heaven and we just keep it pushing. And that was my mindset. It's like, once you see your parents get stabbed in the back repeatedly by people that they've lent their time and their life and their experience and their breath and their this and their that and their money to, and you got the nerve to stab them in the back, like, come on now. Like, that was not, I'm like, if that's God, trust and believe, that is not what I want. If that's what we sent here to do, and I understand as Christians now, I do understand. Okay, yes, we're called to people. We're called to witness. We're called to help each other. And that's fine and dandy. I still have that little bit of like, really, Jesus? I'm trying. It's sometimes a struggle. I ain't even gonna lie. It is sometimes a struggle. And being a PK, which people don't realize, being a PK is actually it can be a lonely road. Number one, depending on what God has called you to do, depending on the type of life that you live. Me personally, like, my best friend is my husband. Only friend, pretty much only friend. I tell him we gotta get some more friends, something. Like, we like, if he died today, I ain't got no friends. Like, that's like the honest God truth. Like, that's my only friend. If it's not him that I talk to during the week, it's my parents. My phone don't ring. I don't get no text messages like that. Like, nothing. My parents and my husband. That's circle is like that small, and that's a good thing to a certain extent, because that's a good thing. I'm gonna leave it as that. That's a good thing to a certain extent, and I'm not gonna say any more about that. But it was literally like, I may have been like 20, maybe about 22, 23, when I was like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm saved, but I got to do better with this. And it's a struggle. I get off course just like anybody else. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat you and lie. If I don't read in the morning, like, I know by the end of the day, my day is going to be off. I'm going to feel like, okay, if I don't read and pray, I'm going to feel by the end of the day like I have not accomplished anything. Even though I may have did a lot in that day, if I don't start my day off with prayer and reading, like, it's just flesh. That's all I can say. It's just flesh. But it takes a lot when you have, sometimes just you, it's a lot. But then add, okay, I have church, I have my husband. A marriage is hard work. So I have that to maintain. I have 4 children. I have one of my own, and I have 3 stepchildren, which I call my children. I have 4 children at home, ranging from age 9 to 15. And I've technically only been a parent like going on 10 years. My son is about to be 10. So it's work, raising what are now teenagers. And I've been in their life for 6 years now, going on 6 years. So it has been a rocky road, especially when you have storms in your life and trials that come up in your life. Things from church just in itself. You got church people that God may send your way just to rub you the wrong way, to rub something out of you. And it's not necessarily that person getting on your nerves. It's just they trying to rub that area God is trying to work on in your life. Then for me, I got marriage. For me, I have stepchildren. My stepchildren have a mother. Mother really doesn't care for me. So I have that to contend with, the negativity on that end. Then I have my parents. My parents are getting older. My dad has had a few things going on health-wise in the last couple of months. So that has really, in that regard, that has really been like the what's the word that I'm looking for? That has really had me before God, probably more now than ever before in my life. Then I got laid off my job months ago. It's like the end of literally the 31st of December was my last day working. And the sad part, it wasn't really sad, but it's funny now looking back at it. I used to work for a doctor, and I had invited the doctor I worked for to church, and he had really liked my dad, and my dad was there that Sunday, and he had preached, and they went out for lunch, and they really hit it off. Like, he really, that was something that he needed right then in his life. And before he laid me off, he called my dad and told my dad, hey, Bishop, I gotta let her go, blah, blah, blah. It's a little tight right now, financially, yada, yada, yada. Whatever the spiel was. But that was the gist of what he called to say. And, like, he was in tears almost, telling me that he had to let me go. And I'm sitting there like, it's okay. God got it. I'm not worried. Like, and in that regard, I was hurt. Yeah. I'm like, oh, God. But I realized in these last several months, my faith had to increase. Like, okay, my husband the only one working. We're saying X, Y, and Z. The budget is, whew. So I had to increase my faith and still try to maintain being faithful and show good faith, not just for my kids, but for my husband and for my parents, because I don't want my parents to worry, because I am the only child and I'm a girl. Hello to all my princesses that are the only girl. Yeah, we know how that go with daddy. If you have a dad that's around, yeah. So it was, I gotta keep good faith, then things were going on, and I'm like, oh my God, it was like one thing after another, and I'm like, okay, when is enough? And it's small stages, and I'm not just saying like, oh, my faith just shot up. No, it's still progressively getting there, but I'm still constantly reminding myself, okay, let me pray for my husband. Let me look at the brighter side of this. I got time where I can pull out books and pray for my husband. I can pull out books and prayers for my children on a daily basis. I got more time with God. I got more time with my parents. I can go to their doctor's appointments with them. I can drive them around if they need to. There's no guarantee I'm always going to live close enough to them where I can do these things. So I have to value the time that I have with them. So it's all these things, the stay-at-home mom part of it, I'm getting dinner ideas. I'm able to take a little more time cooking different things and trying out different things and still maintaining, okay, God, you're gonna work this out. God. So it has definitely been a test of faith and pushing me to increase my faith, pushing me to, okay, it's only me and you at the house, me, myself, and I, in God. So it's like, okay, I have no time but to sit back and look at myself and reflect on things that I need to work on. And it's hard sometimes looking at yourself and saying, hey, okay, I need to get rid of this. I need to do better with this. So, the good part of it is I have the ability to be a stay-at-home mom temporarily. Summertime's coming up, so hey, like, it's me and the kids. They got a lot of work to do. I have a lot of things planned for them. So, I'm saying all this to say, life is going to throw you stuff, whatever you want to categorize the stuff as. But constantly keeping the faith and keeping your trust in God and trusting that He is truly the way and the light. Like, there is no other option for you, and that's sometimes difficult being humans, and you are believing in this person that you can't see, but you can believe in the government that you lose your job, you get unemployment, you get food stamps, you get cash assistance, you get this and you get that, and it's easy to be sucked into those things, and that becomes a pattern in your life. But I want to encourage you, like, trust God, put your trust in Him, put your faith in Him. Man will let you down, and it may not be intentional, but put your trust in Him. Strive for better. Start off with one scripture a day. If you got to start off with that one scripture and then build and expound upon that, start off with one scripture a day where it's just like, okay, we can start off, let's say, the 10 commandments or the fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, all those things. With that one scripture, let's apply that to my life. Okay, thou shalt not lie. I'm going to apply that to my life today and keep adding on to that. And you eventually grow. It's a process. Are you going to have setbacks? Are you going to fall? Yes, but guess what? If you fall, get back up and keep it pushing, honey. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Did you really think that He didn't think you were going to fall? Show me a perfect Christian, and I will show you a liar. There is no perfect Christian. That's why we go to church. You got mess. I think it was my dad that preached that. Yeah, you messy, I'm messy. You got crap, I got crap. You got trash, I got trash. Whatever it is you want to call it. But we go to church, and we bring everybody else with us. They got their garbage and their trash and their foolishness and their pettiness and their whatever else, and we all bring it so we can get help for it. So I just want to encourage you once again, trust in God, have faith in Him. Start off with that one scripture and see if it helps. That's just me. Have you ever been so close to something, and the day you gave up, the next day it just happened? Don't let that be you. Don't let it be you. Start today. Let's start doing something different today. Don't let my story of bad church experience detour you from wanting that relationship. But I've been through that, so I can sit here before you now and share that with you. It's not going to be easy. That's just my road that I had to go down. And later on in life, and even now, I'm able to share it and joke about it, and it doesn't bother me, and I can help other preachers' kids that have gone through that same or are going through that same experience. Being a PK is not easy at all. At all. Y'all think y'all life be hard? Jesus, Lord help me. But nonetheless, I'm just rambling right now. I'm so glad to be back. It took me a little while. It's a little I'm not going to say depressed, because I don't think I've really ever, if I was, I didn't know it. Let's tell the truth. If I was, I didn't know it. My terminology of depressed might not be your terminology of depressed. I was just a little sad. Stuff goes on in life, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get up today. I'm going to make this video and I'm going to do it. And guess what? I done did it. Yes, that is such bad grammar. But nonetheless, make sure you subscribe. Hit that button down below. Down below. Hit that button for me. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure you thumbs up this video. Hit like. Share. You never know if this video, just my rambling about my life and my Christian experience, could help. I am going to post some scriptures at the end that may help you. So just take a gander, read through them. Hey, let me know. Leave your comments below. I so appreciate you all for watching. God bless. Have a awesome day, week, month, year. Success to you and success to everybody that helps you. Love you. Bye-bye.